God, those were the best sessions.
All right, I have started the recording. Hello and welcome to Cause and Effect. This is the 5th edition Homebrew Dungeons & Dragons campaign where there is a plot. Really, there is. But all of it is the player's fault. One might think I misspoke and meant it's the character's fault. No.
No.
No, I will take full responsibility.
I will take blame.
It's column A and column B, but then you just use the blur tool and go over top of both of them in Photoshop. Anyway, tonight I will be your DM for the evening. You can call me Crash. I'm joined by a bunch of awesome people, including Beth, Ellie, Jen, Milo, and Tom. Tom, I can speak this evening.
Sure?
No, I'm not sure. In any case, last time Tom was with us, he was playing a wonderful character named Stonebrook, who has opted to stay on the other side of the planet because he liked you all so much that he decided to let you all live your own lives so he could get some family time.
Is this going to cause some kind of own great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather paradox in here sometime?
Back to the Future.
I am not prepared to consider an answer to that question.
We'll let that one get hand waved.
No, I do not have
an alternate timeline.
He's just setting up when the Otter Folk take over. So.
2 years from now, the Otter Folk will be the big bads.
Yep.
They
Figures.
I have an actual big bad or 3 that I intend to use in this campaign, but all of them will have been destroyed and obliterated by the Otter Folk, who have now tamed the Trask and attached it to a hot air balloon.
Folk riding in Trask, swooping and howling and have reins on it. And, yeah, right.
Yeah,
Sorry.
You will know your doom approaches from above when you hear "wee" from the Trask.
Is the Tarrasque riding the otters?
No, the Otter Folk are riding the Tarrasque, who is tied to a hot air balloon.
Okay.
There is an actual image of a Tarrasque tied to a hot air balloon, if you look for it online. I turned it into an emoji in the Discord, if you look for it. I'm not going to look for it right now because I'm trying to run a game. And 50% of my brain cells are firing, which means I have 2 brain cells currently active.
Let's play some dungeons.
There might even be some dragons, but in any case, what happened last time?
I was helpful again.
No one is more surprised than you.
I know, I'm so proud of me.
I love when I get out of context quotes this early in the game.
There you are. Yep.
Was last week our mission where we... No. Now I remember. We hung out with Tex-Mex's grandparent.
Father of their god.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, wow.
And we chilled out and hung out, and we discovered that something weird is happening, and bits are being missing from Warforged, and we're like, oh no! And then I hung out with A.
Yeah, A was in there too. And I was there too.
Aww.
So this looks like it's gonna be another investigation type thing, right?
Time for my party sense.
Ooh. So it just so happens I found a tutor, or is it a Baroque? I forget. Common's weird, but I found someone to teach me how to be a better rouge.
Oh yeah, you gotta make your colors better.
I hear the trick is to blend.
True on every
Indeed,
point.
you have to blend in.
Yeah, there's this weird egg-shaped sponge you're supposed to use, but I don't get it. But is it okay if I have him come along?
I guess so.
Okay. Wait here. I'm gonna go find him. So this is where we find out if Tom's actually decided how to pronounce his character's name.
I think I'm gonna go with Hagen.
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah.
So tonight's session is called What
Not
Hagen
the
Does.
ice cream.
Yeah, exactly. yeah.
I am here for this
Did it
content.
decide to be questionable about I don't know.
So, Hagen, you are registered with Flag at the moment, but what would you be doing around now?
He's really into exercise. So he's probably jumping from rooftops, parkour. He's just kind of a ball of energy. Like he doesn't really like to sit still too much. But it's funny. He does have patience to teach people. And he really enjoys doing that. But and his downtime, he really doesn't sit down. So he's probably out moving around the city. So
I imagine, and correct me if I'm wrong, that it's quite possible that a lot of his training is training people to keep up with him.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So even the training, he doesn't necessarily need to stay put.
But yeah, his name is Hagen Brookrunner, and he is. Do you want me to describe him and all that, or?
Oh, please do.
Okay. Yeah, he is a halfling. He's actually a little shorter than your average halfling. He has orangish reddish hair that's in dreadlocks, and he I don't quite remember where I said he was from, but he's small, like he's on the smallish side, a very athletic build. Has dark skin, kind of a 5 o'clock shadow all the time, beard, and is a ball of energy, which I am not tonight. I'm exhausted, but the character will be probably talking a mile a minute. So,
all right. So as you're jumping from rooftop to rooftop,
mm-hmm.
I'm gonna roll for a particularly undertrained, because just started and still technically a CR 1/8 kobold.
Oh no.
Apprentice.
So glad, because my entire purpose now is to get him a job, and this will help him.
Oh, certainly. So guess what? Now A has 2 dads. But in any case,
I'm the dad, though.
Actually, you're more like the drunk uncle. That was an 18 on the die. So I'm going to say at one point, as you're jumping from rooftop to rooftop, there is like, it's not a skylight because it's made of sheet metal, but as you are landing and you land on it, it goes down because apparently it was being slightly pushed up.
Ooh.
And you hear a muffled,
"Oh, sorry about that. You okay?"
It opens again and says, "I surrender."
And just kind of take a step back and look. Mm-hmm.
Hey, so I saw you jumping around, which was kind of neat. And remember you said you were going to teach me how to not die by
It's the whole point of life. Yes.
Okay. Well, at this point, I'm at 2/5 of my hit points from that wonderful leap you just did.
Come here, little buddy. I lay my hands on him.
You followed A?
Well, I'm assuming he's back with us, right?
Oh, no. A went off to find Hagen.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm not used to A not being by my side.
By the way, if we're looking at timelines, this is about 3 or 4 hours later. I'm not saying that A was able to quickly find Hagen.
I am drinking a Hagen.
Cheers.
It's quite possible that Hagen was asleep at the time A said, "I'm going to go find Hagen." And has only recently woken up and decided to do this as a morning routine, given whatever time of day Hagen considers morning. I'm not going to determine that. But A has been out in the city looking for Hagen for the past 3 hours. An 18 requires 3 hours of time.
But don't.
What's that?
But don't we have the telepathy ability when we're signed up?
Yes, but Hagen isn't part of your group yet. Yeah, you can only use the flagstones to contact member services and other people in your immediate group.
You can ask member services to page somebody.
Yeah, I haven't gone through orientation yet.
Oh no.
Technically, Hagen is a freelance contractor.
Did you know that I had a nickname when I worked at Target of Baby Killer?
I did.
What did you do?
Also, I appreciate that this is the non sequitur that you decided to come in on.
The thing is that like they would call it over the intercom. Baby Killer, come up to the front. Baby Killer, we need you up at the cash registers.
I don't
feel
know
like
if I
there's some
freaked that
context
store
here
more
that I'm
or
missing.
I've
This
been told the
relationship-
context and I forget it.
Yeah, so this lady, I was in charge of toys for Christmas, which is horrible.
Oh, wow, yeah. Mhm.
And I had this giant pallet of toys that like I had off the beaten path, and then I, slowly putting them away while talking to the 10 million people buying Christmas gifts. And this one 8-year-old slammed into the pallet of toys, knocked them everywhere, and the mother, instead of being like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry," or "Oh my god, like, let me get out of your way," she screamed at me for 15 minutes about how it's my fault, and that if her child was any smaller, I could have killed him, and I would have been a baby killer.
Oh, wow. Retail sucks,
And I smiled and took it so well that my boss decided that was now my name.
Okay.
I mean, there's worse ways to get that name, I assure you.
Yeah, and then I also even got it, like, the next 2 months I won Employee of the Month. So it was like, oh, no, this is Baby Killer. They're Employee of the Month.
How do you know your entire store knows retail is hell, so they're just going to go with whatever and let corporate deal with it if they ever find out?
And, I was great with customers, so I thought I was hilarious.
Wonderful. All right. Well, did you know that somebody is attacking and dismantling Warforged in the city?
Didn't have any idea of that. That's horrible.
Yeah, it is horrible, and it's a thing that we're employed to my associates and I don't know if I can really call them friends. Some of them were responsible for killing my entire clan. Long story. Seeing therapists about that. A lot of repressed hatred, but moving forward, always moving forward, just changing directions a lot and sidestepping occasionally. Could you come with?
Of course. You said you're hurt. Do you need me to carry you?
No, just I looked at my hand and counted the fingers and I got a number less than 20, so I should be okay.
Okay, let's go. I'll follow you then.
All right.
Because you probably won't be able to keep up with me.
Okay. Member services 2 to beam up.
What?
And
Clever.
A pauses a moment and says, "Okay, but why don't you say that? It sounds really cool." Okay, fine. Could you just take me and the halfling that's next to me to the receiving room? And as A is saying that, you are in receiving.
Okay. He just kind of stops and spins and kind of looks around like, whoa, how did that happen?
Oh, yeah. So they've got these things called flagstones, which is, it's not like a really big rock. I was confused by that too. That you hold on to them and you can use that to contact the people who run this place and they'll like teleport you from one place to another. You can't do it all the time, but it's nice when it works properly.
So they can just take you from anywhere and move you around?
Well, they got to know where you want to go. And if they've never sent someone there before, sometimes you might show up a little too high off the ground or too low below the ground, or it's not an exact science, they say. But if you're asking to come here, they know this place really well.
Okay. Yeah, he's like, okay, so where do we start? He's like completely confused. Like he just is in one place, now he's in another. So he's like, I guess I follow you.
Sure.
Where'd you go?
I guess we should take you to member services so you can get the paperwork filled out to get one of these things, because you're probably going to need it. Word of warning, Chadrick likes to sing songs to all of us through them. So
I need the stones.
Yeah, the flagstones. So
No, I don't need them.
Oh, you don't need them, but it's like the difference between using the speaker on your phone or using Bluetooth to hook it up to the amplifier in the room.
It's very true.
Yes.
If you listen now, you can hear the quiet sounds of spascapes.
I imagine at some point, it's like, sounds to fall asleep to, gentle rain, and it's really just Chadwick going, shh.
Right now, actually, I'm going to be honest, because I'm drinking those Hagens, it's playing Margaritaville.
Okay, so it's another half an hour before the forms get filled out. I'm not going to ask whether Hagen fills them out correctly or not, but marks have been placed on paper.
Okay.
Roll money for signing your name.
Well, I want to skip over that to get to the plot forwarding stuff, but I want to establish this has taken place. And I will let Hagen decide. I'll let Tom decide whether Hagen has done this in one way or another way beyond that I haven't even thought of yet or anything like that. We can retcon that as needed.
Fine. Yeah, he'll just, I guess, fill out the papers or whatever. He's still kind of not used to this kind of work with paperwork and things like that. So his is usually a cash market.
So basically, Hagen is going through what everyone else went through on session 2.
Okay.
Yeah, you're filling out your W-2s.
Oh, jeez.
Fantasy W-2s.
Yes. The part where you fill out the 401k is a little confusing, though.
Chadwick understands how 401ks work because of his dad.
Which is ironic considering Chadwick has no concept of financial solvency.
Yeah, but he knows how to make money from more money.
Yeah, I'm
Make
going
money
to
from
agree
more
to
money,
disagree.
or does he make less money from more money?
How big is Chadwick's bar tab right now?
So the thing is, that's the issue. He doesn't have his daddy's money, but he knows how to make money using his daddy's money.
Making money, or is that making booze?
Yes.
Yes.
It's one or the other, but we're not going to spend the time to talk about that now.
He went to investment school, sadly.
We will not ask what his GPA was. So after all that, A leads Hagen over to the rest of the party. All right, so these are my work associates, I guess. They're the ones who we're going to help solve the mystery of who's taking people apart.
Hey, little dude.
Hobby, wave.
He just kind of nods at everyone. Hello.
Hello. You're new here, aren't you?
Yeah, I just got here just a little while ago. A here kind of used his stone thing or whatever to bring me over.
Right,
You've
those,
been
yes.
given one now, too.
Okay, all right. So he's looking at it. And puts it in
Yes,
his
hang
pocket.
on to that somewhere where you won't lose it, just in case things go unexpectedly bad.
Oh, they never.
Actually, I'm
go
going to add
bad.
that to your character sheet while we're talking.
Okay. Things never go sideways.
Interesting.
You know,
Sometimes they go upside
sideways to me
down.
all the time.
Oh, you already have it on your character sheet. Wonderful. I know what you did. You made a duplicate of... Never mind.
Exactly. He is. Sheet wise, he is literally the same as Stonebrook. It's just a different name and different race. So I just literally copied and pasted. So
Beautiful.
Oh, only you didn't have it attuned, so now it's attuned.
okay, cool.
Yeah, so it's like, goodbye, Daryl. Oh, look, here's his other brother, Daryl.
Exactly. Yeah.
Man, okay, so, like, things always go sideways for me. Usually it's because I'm not sitting up.
I've seen
So
you go
we take that as a
sideways
given.
because you drank, like, 3 Chegg stands.
That's right. I mean, if they're my claim to fame, I gotta support.
I never touch alcohol. It's terrible for you.
It's good for cleaning stuff.
And sometimes you can set it on fire.
And sometimes it explodes if you get anywhere near a spark.
That's why you set it on fire from a long distance.
You haven't seen the Gear Grinder special here, have you?
Gear grinder cocktails. You get a long fuse and you throw it really far and then you run.
So, you know how, and I know I keep bringing this up, but you wiped out most of the rest of my clan?
An accident?
One of the many reasons why it was that small to begin with was because we tried something like that. And you gave the steps in the wrong order to successfully survive it. You run first.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, by lighting the fuse, that usually requires your warlock or somebody to throw something at the fuse.
I just throw a Molotov.
Yeah, that's what we thought we were making. It didn't end well.
So, hey, dude, do you want a Hagen?
No, I don't drink.
Good joke.
I can tell Hagen and Chadwick are going to be the best of friends.
Yeah.
With A in between us.
Oh my.
Hagen, otherwise known as designated driver for life.
Yes. Yeah, pretty much. He's
You're a nerd friend.
Always trust the rogue to get you home safely and to make sure no one else steals all your money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's going to just cross his arms and just kind of get
Gonna be like Poindexter now.
Yeah. He's basically a fitness nut, so he's not gonna smoke, drink, or have any fun.
Oh my gosh, he's one of those.
Oh wow.
So your character might be
This is
named
the
Chadwick, but
Yes.
your character might be named Chadwick, but Hagen's the one who has like a 12-pack.
Yes.
Not this year.
There's someone who has no concept of anatomy and musculature who just says, well, more muscles means better, right?
Yeah, dude, the entire torso is just abs, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
It goes up to the sternum, yes.
And,
Yes.
and just like in the picture, he has tattoos on his neck and like all over his arms and stuff. So he's so it's kind of odd that he has all those tattoos when he considers his I guess he considers his body a temple or whatever. But this is like
Hey, temples need temple paintings.
Yeah,
Oh,
neat
yeah,
art.
yeah. So
Yeah.
he's but yeah, he would probably be the straight edge of the group.
How's it going, dude?
Going. When do we start working?
You know what? Now you're here. Let's go. We're gonna go to the place. Tex-Mex. You guys know where we're going, right?
I really hate that you called us, like, you've grouped us as one entity, and this is really strange to me.
Also, I thought they were mech.
No.
So the thing is that it's a
Well,
bit.
this is complicated now.
And yes, we know where we're going.
So we're there. They got the directions. I got
Right.
the 30 cents. You got the boring. We got A to be the cool dude.
No, I feel like I'm room temperature for the most part.
It's another one of those weird sayings, little buddy.
I thought I was playing along with it.
Yes.
Yeah. Now I get
It was
you. You know what, dude?
perfect, eh? It was perfect.
You were joking from another angle, and I really like that.
Okay, let's have this conversation while we walk to teleport out.
Wise.
Okay, where are
Very
we going?
wise.
Player can't remember.
A has forgotten entirely.
Yeah.
But to remind the players, including the ones who weren't here last time, so technically not reminding them.
Obviously, Hobby sort of wandered in while A was finding people.
Oh, well, what was happening was Warforged had been found in, if you look at the map, number 2, that's Forge Town. That's where all of the factories are. And a lot of the Warforged who came down from the moon during a particular Kobold campaign, Pack Tactics Season 3, now available on Cogwheel's website, those Warforged got jobs in the factories. So that's where most of them hang out. And if you don't technically need to eat, sleep, or breathe, then why would you need to get housing in the rest of the city? So there's a lot of them just stay there unless they got a job somewhere else. But every now and then, especially more recently, Warforged have been found in the Forge Town area dismantled, missing key parts, or just disappearing entirely.
That's terrible.
Exactly.
God,
And we're going to find out what happened.
And we can say that Cogbucket has given you more precise coordinates because you have picked up this particular quest.
yeah.
Right.
Most of the cases that have happened in the closer to the walls that you can see on the map. Let me grab the laser pointer thing.
Laser pointer thing.
Well, yes.
Yeah,
So
that's
this
what
area,
it is.
This area right around here. So southern area of Forge Town against the walls, as opposed to southern area that's pretty far away from the walls.
I didn't realize that you picked up Hero's weapon.
I created Hero's weapon.
I know you did.
This is the alternate version with the purple dot.
Oh.
Therefore, it's much cooler. Although I will probably be stabbed in the back by an emo boy because I have the purple lightsaber now.
It's really fun.
It is really fun. And the best and worst thing that Google Slides did for teachers everywhere was add the laser pointer feature to slide presentations, because you can do this in Google Slides also.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so if you're showing a presentation with a class...
It's a little red dot.
You can get more than one red dot on the screen.
Oh, no.
Okay, so
All right.
as everyone plays with laser pointers, you are teleported to a spot, because why walk across town when you can teleport?
Sure.
That's what I like to say.
So I'm going to roll a die.
Do I have to roll a die?
Well,
we
that
aren't,
depends on what I roll.
Jumping inside.
Okay, no, you do not need to roll a die. You do teleport in a little bit above the ground, but not high enough that you're going to take damage. It's just a little unsettling that you teleport in and then you land.
Catfall.
I'm okay.
That's not usually how this happens, but is everyone all right?
Hagen's kind of like still not used to this. Like, whoa.
That was actually fairly good. I've heard some stories of some people teleporting across city and ending up in the sewer, because if the
Maybe we should have
coordinates
walked.
if the coordinates are to a spot that's already occupied, it moves you to the next safest unoccupied spot, whatever's closest. But safe is a relative term.
Right. Well, we're here. I missed that entirely. What?
I rolled a 19 on a perception check.
Okay.
You perceive that you are in probably it's tied for the two most polluted places in the city.
Wonderful.
Because it's filled with factories.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is covered in grime. There's various people that are walking around.
Poor people.
Actually, working class.
Check.
Compared to Chadrick's quality of life, Chadrick is still adjusting to his new quality of life.
Oh.
These are some of the same people who you might actually teach how to do a cheg stand at a bar.
Oh, true. So they may have befriended them during my dog walking, bar hopping time before I rejoined the party.
You befriended no one during the dog walking time. We have made that abundantly clear.
Okay,
even the dogs are not technically your allies. They were your opponents. And they show that they were experts at knot tying.
You get every dog drunk that you walk, and everyone treats you like an enemy.
You didn't even give them anything to drink.
You just have an aura.
There was an emanation, to be sure.
Oh.
But yeah, you are in the factory area.
All right.
Now
So
what?
where's the factory we need to?
Well, none of
Go
this
to.
happened, so far as you are aware, inside a factory.
Okay, so we're up by the wall, and maybe we should just start looking around.
Yeah,
Missing-
can you drag one of us to where we are? I don't know.
I used a laser pointer and everything.
Yeah, it's right over there-ish.
I am going to drag. Let's see. It's a dangerous thing to drag Tex over here because Warforged are being targeted. So if you see one of those two disappear,
Yell.
There we are.
Got Chadrick, McCool guy.
So yeah. Now this is not to scale because Chadwick would be several blocks over to the side. Actually, that would fit Chadwick's idiom. So according to Cogbucket, he said that the Warforged disappeared like after their shift when they were leaving, but there was usually no witnesses to see, or wasn't any witnesses. Like no one's come forward. There was probably one witness, but they were probably the one who did it. So I guess I'm a witness.
That makes him a perpetrator.
Is there anyone around, like any of the workers from that particular factory that they're going missing from that I can see?
It wasn't just one particular factory.
This is a DM question.
And the DM has answered through an NPC. It wasn't just one factory.
Yeah, but I'm trying to see if there's someone I can talk to and persuade to tell me.
I mean, you can go to the factory of the latest one who disappeared.
That'd be rad.
Or the latest body that was found, rather.
Yeah.
Okay. So you go into the factory, and there is the factory is run by an orc,
Cool.
but there's all kinds of people who are working in it. Apparently, they are manufacturing screws and bolts, because those get used in all kinds of things. So there's a lot of.
I'm missing a few of those.
Well, that's because they're loose. But so there's a lot of steam, and it's very warm inside, and you can hear the sound of people pouring metal into casts and hammering and stuff and screeching, and every now and then there's sparks. And imagine, if you will, a bunch of people who look like they're busy, whether or not they're actually doing anything. It's the exact opposite of road construction, where people don't look busy even if they're getting a lot of work done.
I'd like to talk to one of the dudes. Maybe if there's like a guy that's on his break.
It does look like there's a dwarf over to the side who is drinking something out of a teacup.
I would love to talk to him.
Okay.
Hey, what up?
Can I help you?
That was me trying to say hi to him.
Yes, and the dwarf looks up at you and says, "Can I help you?"
Oh, okay. So, like, hi. Not so fun conversation topic. Don't worry. It's just I'm wondering if you remember your Warforged buddy who went missing a few days ago. If you remember, like, what happened that day.
I already gave the whole story to the Warforged who came in asking questions.
Yeah. Then we got sent out to like double check things. So I just want to make sure I didn't miss any details. You know.
Okay. Well, X43 is a good worker, good standing with the union, but like didn't rank very high in it, so it didn't look like there was any problem for that. And just ended his shift, walked out, didn't walk back in.
Do you remember like any weird people being around or him acting any differently?
Nope.
Okay. Gee, which way did he leave out of?
Is he with anyone?
But we all tend to walk out of the same door you walked in.
Ah, perfect. And I totally understand. I don't remember where most people go. Do you know which way he usually goes? Just because we want to, follow the steps.
I think he said he had a cousin. That's not the word he used, but when we asked about it, it's the closest approximation for, like, because, Warforged aren't born, but if you're built in the same batch, you're kind of related, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's got a cousin that worked in the Ogmanite Enclave, so every now and then after a shift, he'd go visit him.
Ah, cool. Thanks, dude. You've given us a few things to start our search at.
All right.
Can I use some magic to turn his drink into a drink?
What magic would you intend to use to do this?
How would you do this thing?
I don't know. I just know that I have, fear powers.
If you can... Okay, so you don't have anything in your character sheet that's just labeled beer powers.
I have a holy symbol that I can promise you is alcohol related.
It's like it's meant to be like a vial that holds like
you can
the pinky
bless his
bone
beer
of like the person who wrote the lyrics for Party Rock Anthem or something. But because it's suspended in a fluid that is 250 proof, yes, I know it's physically impossible. It's still alcohol related.
Yeah, and then like bless his beer.
He's currently drinking mint tea.
Well,
if you can tell me that a spell you have can somehow turn the mint tea into a mint julep, I'm willing to hear you make this case.
Okay, so I do have ceremony
blessed.
In which I can bless water.
What's the casting time for ceremony? I like how Milo couldn't even answer without breaking into laughter.
We almost never do casting time. I've never had to worry about that.
Oh, no, we have had to worry about it on occasion. And this is one of those occasions because you are expecting this dwarf to sit around and let you chant at the dwarf's drink for a certain amount of time before the dwarf says, "You're beginning to creep me out." And or the dwarf's break ends. So how long does ceremony take to cast?
Duration is instantaneous. Casting time is 1 hour, and I have to touch it.
There is no way
That's happening.
that any union
You will have to.
in this city
You will have to do.
has negotiated a 1 hour break.
Okay. How about heroism?
You could cast heroism on the dwarf.
Because it's liquid courage.
No. I just
So you're
made
saying
this character. I haven't even given them a name. I am not letting you get them fired for drinking on the job. Unless you can give me a spell that actively says something like adds alcoholic content or something.
Yeah, I'm not going to cast sleep. I'm not rude.
You could
Also-
just give a generic blessing.
Yeah, true. I could just be like, I don't know. I'll just say thanks, I guess.
I don't like
Good,
telling
and
my
may the
players
booze be
no,
with you.
but you really don't have the spells to do this.
I want to, though. That's Chadrick's goal.
Well, it's good to have goals, but sometimes you don't reach that goal in episode 10 of the session.
Fine.
Or section.
Yeah, so right now Chadrick's goal list is get a job, and 2, get an alcohol spell.
I'm going to have to homebrew an alcohol spell, aren't I?
I mean,
And it's going to need to be a paladin spell. Oh my god.
my patron is the patron of parties.
Your religion
party
is
didn't spell.
literally just party rock anthem. You did that's what you wrote in your character sheet for religion. Party rock anthem. The song.
It's experience.
It is an experience. We'll talk about this many times, I am sure. Okay, so where do you head now?
I tell them, hey, so talk to them. There's 2 things. 1, he was part of the union. He wasn't very high up, but, you know, that's something where we can look and find out more about him. And 2, he apparently had a relative who was, who worked at the Ogdenite. I can never say that word. I know I didn't say it as hero either.
Ogdenite Enclave.
And with Nightlight, and so we can probably see about that.
Do we think these Warforged may have been stripped for parts?
Possibly. There was one that Cogbucket was looking after, or I guess autopsy is not the right word for a non-biological being, really, but there was clearly parts missing that should have been there.
It
Would
did
we
appear
be-
to be been stripped for parts.
Would we be able to find any kind of underworld contacts who might, know of like a chop shop essentially?
Well, there's the fact is that I've already mentioned the union. That was a bad joke. Sorry.
Well, the only people who live under anything here are the kobolds.
We can either talk to the union to get more about them, or see if the Ogdamites do weird science crap. So who knows if they did weird science crap on a Warforged?
But isn't that
But it's
murder?
been more than one. It's been more than one. It wouldn't be just one that they've done this on, if it's them.
And they may know things because, I don't know, they're scientists. I don't trust them.
For the record, Ogma is considered a neutral deity. So followers of Ogma don't actually have to have the same moral fortitude that followers of traditionally good gods would follow. There can be evil Ogmanites, there can be good Ogmanites, there can be true neutral Ogmanites. So long as you're gathering knowledge and sharing it, it's fine.
I suppose we could ask the cousin if they know anything.
Yeah, like if he even made it to the Enclave. If not, then we have an area in between.
I mean, that's the one we found. They found the body, right? Or is that one who just vanished?
This is the one who was on the slab in Cogbucket's barbershop.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Slash
Okay, so we know that,
clinic slash.
We know where he ended up. Mm-hmm.
but we don't know if we got to the Ogman, if he got to visit his cousin first.
But
We don't know if he was on his way back.
Where he went missing. Is it between work and there? Is it between there and home?
Right. Well, I guess we go to the Enclave then?
I guess.
Okay,
Maybe they'll know something.
on with the plot. That's out of character.
Are you sure?
I'm a little kobold. I don't know what the plot is.
Well, that's why you would say on with the plot now, isn't it?
Yeah,
No,
see,
I wouldn't know.
I
enough
put
about
in the
plot to say that.
transition.
There you are. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Yes, but using that particular transition would imply a certain PC is involved.
Yeah. That one.
And for all of your sakes, I hope not.
Oh, wow.
Concerning.
Interesting point. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yes, because you have a kobold that you consider a friend. And some crimes
All
have
right,
not
so we're
been forgiven.
moving over here then, right?
Yep. Number 3 is the Enclave, and it's small on the map because
But big and hard.
that's comparing it to entire districts. It is a fairly large singular building, which appears to have been blast reinforced in some
Wonder why that
cases.
is.
In some cases, more than once.
I wonder why that is.
Because things explode.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with chocolate chip muffins. Don't ask.
Concerning.
Oddly enough, the chocolate chip muffin was not the root cause of the problem that is being referenced by Milo.
No, it was the weird phantom bull.
Still
Technically, it was a
concerning.
cyborg.
So
Whatever.
concerning.
All right, so in we go, I guess. And
Makes sense. Sure.
he walks through the large doors in the front, and there appears to be someone reading a magazine behind the reception desk.
I'm assuming we all follow in, right?
Well, you can if you want to. I'm leaving that up to you. But A has gone.
I'm
in.
sticking with the Warforged. There's someone around who might be going after our Warforged.
Is there anyone who doesn't follow A in?
Nope.
I always
I
follow.
just-
Nope.
I'd assume we'd all follow.
Okay, good. So the person behind the counter has sort of like dark brownish hair that's cut fairly short, long enough to look messy. They are wearing a black shirt, blue pants, and they appear to be covered in sawdust, which is weird. And the magazine they're reading appears to have illustrations of lots of people with word bubbles. Something about an Iceman.
Oh, do I know the comic? Do I know the comic?
You do not know this particular comic, no.
Yeah, no, I don't. I got a 5.
Also, there's some character in there named Rocky, but it's weird. It's weird. There's a lot of context in there that you don't get. And he looks up and goes, "Hi, can I help you?"
We're looking for the cousin of a Warforged.
Did we get his name?
The cousin's name? I don't think you got the
Like-
cousin's name.
The dead one's name.
He had a number, and
X47.
that
I did not catch that.
Well, of
647?
course not, because I just made it up. X47.
X47. We're looking for X47's cousin?
Oh, that would be X48. They were very close.
seems
Yes.
so.
I could tell by the numbers.
Are they here?
Well, unfortunately, X47 became non-functional a few days ago.
Yes. We're trying to figure out what happened to them. And we're hoping X48 might be able to pinpoint whether they even got to visit or not.
Oh, yeah, another Warforged named Cogbucket came by, asked a bunch of questions, I think.
We are duplicating just in case someone remembers something they did not tell Cogbucket.
Okay.
Which cog bucket?
Interesting question.
Oh, you know about JR. So,
Yeah.
not JR. JR hasn't been on the planet for a while now. So it's just been Cogbucket.
Ah, okay. Good to know.
And also JR goes by JR.
Very good.
Hadn't thought of that. All right.
Anyway, if you want to see X48, I can call ahead and see if he's accepting visitors.
That would be
Thank
great.
you.
He's usually very busy, but he's been given some time off for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
And yes, Tom knows exactly what comic story I'm talking about. It might be another series that one can find on YouTube.
That would be, yes.
Oh my gosh, they already have the spell.
It's a different campaign setting.
Yeah.
Well, different game altogether, actually.
Yes.
Which it's Paragons and...
Prowlers and Paragons.
Prowlers and
Prowlers and-
Paragons,
okay.
yes.
It's like Mutants and Masterminds, but different.
Yeah.
You're still superheroes or super somethings.
Yes. Yeah, superheroes.
Well, moving forward. The person behind the counter picks up a weird device and holds it to their ear and mouth and says some things. You are actually unable to hear what they're saying while they're holding it up to their ear and mouth.
What if I want to hear it anyway?
Then you would need some kind of mental link. I don't know if anyone in the party has the ability to link with someone mentally and read their surface
I
thoughts.
do.
That's what I was afraid
I'm
of.
being facetious.
Yeah.
So you attempt to read this person's surface thoughts.
Yep.
Okay. Make a charisma save.
I have resistance to psychic damage.
Make a charisma save.
Oh, okay. Good thing I have a
At
plus
advantage, because you have resistance.
Okay, we're going with 15.
Okay, with a 15, now you have read the surface thoughts of many people. Perhaps too many people. Perhaps people who know enough about you don't play cards with you.
Kind of a go-to.
Yeah. It's like you're reading the surface thoughts of millions of people at once. That, or it's the worst reverb ever.
Good thing I have mental discipline.
In any case, with a 15, you take no damage, but you don't get any information whatsoever other than, wow, that's loud.
Yeah. Party Rock is not in the house tonight.
It's like someone redid the airport and now it looks like a disco.
They took Paradise and put down a parking lot.
Everyone's excited and confused. But enough about They Might Be Giants quotes, because now check that off on the bingo card. That's a more recent addition to the bingo card, but that is on the bingo card.
It is always on the bingo card.
It hasn't always been on the bingo card.
Should be.
I will say that I love this game. That is the free space. In any case, it's almost as if this person exists in multiple realities all at the same time.
Oh, was it Kevin?
This is definitely Kevin.
It's a
Found
Kevin.
a Kevin.
Canonically, Kevin had a job at Nalith Academy, but left that job to work at the Ogmanite Enclave, and he likes it much better here. He's treated much nicer.
Oh my gosh. I survived reading Kevin's mind.
Wow.
Mine,
You had a problem.
I'm kind of impressed with me.
some argue that Kevin doesn't have a mind to read. The problem is he has too many and doesn't know which one to pay attention to.
You know, I also have dual mind.
Oh no, it's not dual mind. It's
more.
millions. It's infinite.
I know, I'm just saying. I got two.
If it wasn't for the comic book, he wouldn't be able to focus on anything because he has massively unmedicated ADD.
Aww.
May or may not be me without a filter. But moving forward. All my characters, well, take that back. That's a lie. A lot of my characters are some element of me and then a fiction built around that. Kevin is my ADD.
Valid.
And Kevin hangs up and says, okay, well, yeah, X48 will see you. Just take that elevator over there. You'll need these passes to go through. Bonus points, these do not explode. You'd be surprised how many people ask that question.
Hey, dude. I got a question.
I already said the passes don't explode.
No, it's a different one. My question is, how many are you?
We
answer
never
is probably-
tried to count.
We are Legion.
The answer is yes.
Like, dude, there's so much of you.
Yeah, we try not to think about it.
Yeah. No, I got that in my head.
I'm so sorry.
Am I a Kevin?
No.
Okay,
would never.
good. Because I'm still... Woof. Anyways, elevator?
Yeah, just take
This
the elevator.
way.
It's none of you has a bag of holding, do you?
No.
Not yet, no.
Okay, so or any extra planar spaces, extra mental spaces on you whatsoever? No portable holes, no weapons
No.
of mass destruction.
No,
anything?
none of those.
I don't believe so.
Okay, then press the green button when you go in the elevator and it'll take you where you need to go. If you are lying to me for whatever reason, press the red button and it'll take you wherever you want to go, as opposed to somewhere in the astral plane.
Okay.
Concerning.
Well,
Should we just press the red button to be safe?
I mean, it takes longer, so some people press the red button anyway because they feel safer doing that, but some people want to get there faster, so they press the green button. But if you have an extra dimensional space on you, then you don't arrive at the destination you wanted.
The green button has already been pressed.
Okay, so most of you were talking to Kevin while this was said. So I'm going to assume that Chadrick and A, because A is sticking close to Chadrick for the most part, that A was expecting Hagen to follow. I don't know if Hagen follows or not.
He does.
Okay, so Chadrick, Hagen, and A are in the elevator.
What a dream team.
When Chadrick presses... Which button did you press?
Green.
Okay, and there is a gust of air, and the rest of the party does not see those three anymore.
Oh, wonderful.
Thank you.
But the three of you are looking through the door you just walked in through, but instead are looking through into what appears to be some type of science lab.
It's fine. Chadrick's still humming through the link. They're fine.
Hey, science people.
But they took the elevators, so the humming is...
Yeah, it's like elevator music.
Yes. Because there's only one song licensed for use in an elevator, and it's Girl from Ipanema. Yes.
But yes, hey, science people.
So there's a few quote-unquote science people in the room. They are all wearing fancy white lab coats.
You know, they're real.
That's how you know they're legit science people. They didn't just like buy them from a shop somewhere.
No one would do that.
No one would do that.
so wait, I'm confused. Is our party split or are we
Your
together?
party is currently split because three members of the party decided
that
to
is
go
what I
on
thought
without
happened.
you, while Kevin was having a discussion with you for why you wouldn't want to press the green button if you had any bad things on you.
Okay.
Now the rest of you can go in the elevator and press the green button.
Press the
Kevin
green button.
sets it up
Yes.
so that it works again.
Yes.
And you follow shortly afterwards.
Okay.
So the science people that are in there, one of them is a Warforged, and they look very much like X-47, only they're not missing any parts, and they're ambulatory. And
That's
also
who we
wearing
need to
white
speak
lab.
with. That's who we need to speak with then, I think.
Yes, and they just got off the phone with Kevin, so they knew you were coming. They did not bake you a cake.
How dare.
We don't eat.
In this particular lab, not everything is fit for biological consumption anyway. So baking a cake in here would be problematic. And
Is Nightlight here?
It's what?
Is Nightlight here?
you wouldn't know,
Dang it.
because that's a different character who knew Brightlight. Her name is Brightlight, Bindle Brightlight.
Nightlight. So anyway.
Anyway, we've been playing for about an hour. What do you say we take a short break?
That's good.
Okay.
Well, 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 if it isn't the consequences of our actions. I'm referencing the discussion we had during the break, which was not recorded, so just leave that up to your imagination. That's too long to be a campaign title, but it almost was.
don't let's start. Okay.
This is the worst part. We already had that bingo card square checked off, but no matter.
Hey,
So X48 approaches you.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, I believe you are the ones who are following in Cogbucket's footsteps?
Pretty much.
Yes.
leave this to Tex-Mex. Because I can't read people's minds if they're not people. Robot, flesh body.
Okay.
Hey.
Sure.
I'm trying to... I changed my words.
You're not being very inclusive.
I'm sorry.
I, for one, accept the robot overlords.
Warforged
that.
overlords.
I got that training.
we did it.
next week.
And we did not actually accept our Warforged overlords at the time. That's why we're here. And now. But anyway.
Anyway, I appreciate that. As this conversation is happening, Hagen just rolled a 10 for initiative. Just in case, I assume.
All right.
So, I can tell you the same thing I told Cogbucket, that I was expecting X47 to appear after his shift a few days ago. He left on time, but did not arrive here.
How long does it usually take him to get from from there to here?
About half an hour. Faster if he wishes to walk faster, but he liked to enjoy the sights. Please understand, most of the Warforged in this city are not from around here. We're not even from this world. We're from a different world entirely. We arrived through some very odd circumstances that I don't think you have the time to hear. But if you listen to Pack Tactics Season 3, you will hear the whole story in there somewhere. That was out of character, of course. But things here are in some ways very similar and in some ways very different. I have taken my expertise and made myself useful here in the Enclave for scientific endeavors. X-47, while built at the same time, came off the same assembly line right before me, in fact, much preferred to just take it all in and do the compare and contrast in the wild, so to speak.
And always came alone to visit?
Well, yes. But frequently, X-47 would tell me stories of things he had encountered. Not all of them were pleasant, but still data collection that seemed to be interesting, to X-47 at least. What I gather is that X-47 did not always take the same route to get here, and frequently preferred to take the path less traveled, were the words that he enjoyed using.
So do you think they...
Did he notice...
Sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to ask if X-47 might have noticed anyone perhaps watching them at any point or following them in the past who seemed curious, shy, up to no good.
Certainly, but that was when we first arrived. After the first month, everyone sort of got used to us.
I was thinking more recently. Sorry.
That's okay. Do you think they possibly had a secret life that interests that others didn't know about that maybe took them on these side paths, as you'd say?
Let me roll an insight check for X-48. If X-47 did have a secret life, as you say, then he was keeping it from me as well. And Chadrick doesn't believe there was a secret life at all with a 3. That or Chadrick is convinced there was a secret life and is happy to show you the wall with red yarn all over it.
No, Chadrick's going more towards that one, and Chadrick's already planning his ability to, crawl through the city like Kronk and Emperor's New Groove, and find
complete
the exact...
with theme song. You need to make your own theme song as you do it.
Agreed. And so I'm going to do that. And then, magic myself upon a band of ne'er-do-wells and discover that they are the bad guys all along. I am daydreaming.
As you are doing this, a fictional lawyer for Flag is going to come over and require that you sign a document saying that the theme song you're creating on the spot is not in fact copyrighted by you, so you can't sue them for its use.
Yeah, you know what? I'm even signing it because I don't care.
By the way, this is all a fictional situation because this is Chadrick's daydream.
Right.
But that did actually happen to Patrick Warburton during the making of Emperor's New Groove.
Yep.
Oh no!
Yeah, I saw a video.
And he laughed as he signed it because it was like he did not see any monetary gain to be made from the song that he ad-libbed. It was bad. It was intentionally atrocious. It was scripted that it was supposed to be atrocious, but never mind.
Did you know any of the other Warforged who have been taken?
Most of them, yes. We were all part of the same union on our homeworld.
Is that all Warforged were part of the same union, or is that specific to...
All of us who left that world were part of the same union. Granted, we called it a union. We have since, most of us have since learned that we got several things very wrong, but growing pains.
Yo, Was there anything weird about that union? Like any people who were like...
No. Okay, were there any Warforged aside from Hex and I'm blanking on Jen's Warforged.
Mech. It's an acronym.
Tex-Mech.
It's no X in there. It's a mech because it's an acronym.
Right, Tex-Mech. Tex and Mech. Okay, are there any of Warforged in the city, besides ours, of course, who were not part of the original batch who came down from the moon?
A few have come in from other locations, Cogbucket as one of them.
Right.
But the vast majority were all from off-world.
So wait.
So it's...
Is it only moon Warforged that are going missing?
Well, my understanding is currently yes, but statistically, this is kind of expected. The percentage of Warforged who are not from the moon, well, from off-world anyway, we're not technically from the moon, none of us were built there. Most of us are in that group.
Oh, so that's not like enough for us to like try to figure out. Okay.
It could be that we're being targeted specifically for something that's in us that's from off-world, but more data would be needed.
Of the things that are not typical of Warforged of your make and model, were there any common to the Warforged that have been taken?
You would have to ask Cogbucket that. I have not been part of the investigation, to be honest.
I would like to roll an insight check to see if I remembered what Cogbucket said.
I apologize. I meant that you are aware of.
I will be honest. I cannot even bring myself to ask what parts were removed.
I see all.
Reasonable.
It's likely best you don't know.
Now, if you don't mind, I need to get back to my research.
Of course.
Thank you very much for your help.
Wait, I got my 21 on my insight check.
What do you want to know?
I'm trying to see if I can connect any dots from what Cogbucket told us, because Lord knows I don't remember from 2 weeks ago. And, you know, to see if there's a pattern, because I don't remember what parts are being taken, or if like there are any parts that were specific for moon people, or like stuff
the
like
parts
that.
It was not always the same parts being taken.
I remember that, but I was like,
There did not seem to be a pattern for it. If there was a pattern, the disappearances where the bodies were never found are frequent enough that it would prevent you from knowing what the pattern might be. You might need to find where the parts are going in order to determine what the pattern is.
Okay, fine.
I wonder if someone's trying to build enslaved Warforge. And I'm not saying this in front of poor X48. I'm saying it as we are going out of the building. Because we're going out of the building, right?
You are going out of the
stand
building.
Around here.
As you are leaving, you hear one of the other researchers saying, okay, so what if we increase the borax? Will we get better slime that way? And that's when you press the button to leave.
Yes.
All right. So we are leaving.
When we get out, can I use my... I'm going to completely... This is a stretch. Use my party sense to see if I can figure out where weird stuff is in the city.
It's the city of Flotsam.
You know, I feel like my bar sense would be able to tell me where the weird people are.
So here's the thing. There's Mushton. It is populated almost entirely by mushroom people. There's the Squawks. It is populated almost entirely by Kenku. There's Forge Town.
There's a lot of odd. Yeah.
Forge Town has a more diverse population, but it is for the most part Warforged.
So,
Chadrick, it's easier to point out the areas that are not weird.
Chadrick.
I'm listening.
Where would you look if you wanted to find underground fighting rings?
Oh, yeah.
Underground, probably.
Thank you.
That too.
I would like to use my absolutely not a good person sense to either decide which bar to go to hear cool information, probably the one near the factories, or where to find a fighting ring.
I might be able to help with that.
So, as luck would have it, those two are somewhat interrelated because you can't just say, I'm going to go find a fighting ring and then locate a fighting ring. You would probably have to ask around. But where would be a good place to ask around? Possibly a bar.
And I'm real good at those.
I mean, heck, most adventures start in a tavern.
True.
Real good at taverns.
I usually don't start them in taverns because it's a trope that I try not to repeat, although the Critical Recovery game did start in a tavern.
Yes.
It never started in a tavern. It only started in a tavern because it was out of sync with time. But moving forward.
Right.
And also controlled by a deity. But moving forward or sideways, we might be crab walking into the future.
Okay.
Sounds about right.
Yes, you go find a bar. And you said you wanted to find one near the factories, so that means you go all the way back to here. It's another half-hour walk.
Thing is that most of the Warforged are going missing from the factory section, right?
All of the Warforged have gone missing from the factory section, yes.
Exactly, so this would be the best place to find someone who's really drunk and have them accidentally talk about the weird people they've seen.
Hopefully.
This is the city of Flotsam.
Once again,
There's so
I
much
mean,
weird.
like out of Flotsam's ordinary weirdness.
So listen. So a while back,
I was a citizen of this town, I know.
you're not gonna believe this, but there was this person who ran a children's theater, and I could swear they were a cat, and that's when they put their arm around you and burp loudly into your face. They were a frickin' cat covered in fur. Only sometimes they would moo. And
was that the great playwright Hero?
I don't know his name. So, but here's the weird thing. His father was a tiefling. I don't know how that works.
So their dad was a dwarf.
Oh, you've heard this story. Did I tell you this already? Anyway, their place exploded. They're probably all dead. And that's when they fall over backwards and start snoring.
Well, that one's done.
Give me an investigation check to see if you get better news from the next person.
Who are you asking?
Anyone as well? Any of us? Or
Can everyone roll, or
Anyone who's trying to get information in this bar. And I see Chadrick got a 10, so that's as best as he's getting.
So, investigation. Probably not very well. Nope.
Mech got a 6. Mech shows up and says, I need your gun and I need your motorcycle.
it's worse.
Tech says, I don't need your gun or motorcycle.
Or I could channel divinity and give myself a +5 bonus to charisma.
You could attempt that, yes. Hobby got a 5, so Hobby gets distracted by something fuzzy that's under a countertop somewhere.
It's the best rat ever. Hush! Don't talk to me. I have to catch this thing.
She probably will just talk to the bartender.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. So let's talk to the bartender.
Use
I'm going to
persuasion.
follow, but I'm not going to talk because I know I look scary. So
You're just gonna you don't have any muscles technically speaking, but you're going to look like you're the hired muscle.
This is not going to be my best persuasion.
You use channel divinity to get a +5.
No. I haven't used channel divinity yet. This is my normal +5.
Okay.
So I guess if I did use channel divinity, it would then be...
It would then be a 16, which would be
That's
higher
not
than what
bad.
anyone else has rolled in this tavern.
Yeah, you know what? I think I'm going to do it. I haven't used my divinity yet.
And actually, you're rolling persuasion. This is an investigation check.
Oh, yeah, I'm trying to persuade the bartender to tell me things.
Oh, I'll allow that. For the sake of the plot you wish to avoid, I will allow that.
Hey there. You may not recognize me. I invented the chug stand. How are you doing today?
Hey now, you're an all-star.
It's game on.
That's what I do. I break people and know things.
You know, I'm really glad that you know the correct way to start one. But yeah, I'm Chadrick McCluguy. I'm here
You might know me
actually.
from such popular things as the Chug Stand, and
Yes.
definitely not an outstanding bar tab.
Anyway, I'm here. I actually have a job that I'm supposed to be doing in town, and I thought that you'd be the best place for me to start.
I was told you're not allowed to walk dogs anymore.
That has nothing to do with dogs.
Hopefully.
Okay, well then I'm listening.
Okay, so the thing is that I was sent here by one of this Warforged to find out what's been going on with all the Warforged, especially since, like, most of them have been disappearing around here. So, I thought this would be a good place to, figure things out, figure out, the parties at play in this area to see who to start talking to about what's going on with all these buddies.
Well, most of them have not disappeared. The vast majority of the beings who live here.
I'm confused.
Like, a few of them have disappeared, yes, but people disappear all the time. This city doesn't exactly have a thriving business in law enforcement.
Oh, yeah.
People disappear down by the docks all the time.
We've just noticed a big uptick of seemingly probably similar, just sudden deaths with parts missing for Warforged.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about, but I just wanted to clear up the misconceptions. Statistically speaking, fewer Warforged have disappeared than humans, orcs, dwarves, halflings, gnomes, etc.
Absolutely. And you know what? Unfortunately, right now I'm just being paid by the Warforge.
We should look into it sometime.
Yeah. On the to-do list. Today is Warforge Day.
Right.
Today is not your day. Tomorrow's not looking good either because we're not making a lot of progress in this quest. But that's what you're saying to the bartender.
Please. Can you give me some idea of just like who's who around here?
All right. Well, my name's Bill. I'm the bartender.
Hi, Bill.
That guy over there is George. That guy over there is Drunk George.
Ah, good one.
Yeah. There's no relation between them. That over there is Bill Jr. Hi. Also no relation to me. And that over there is Drunk Joe. Hello. He's sober tonight. He's the designated driver.
Aww.
Someone's got to be.
Yep.
And the person down on the ground is Fred.
There's no cars. Why are there designated drivers?
There's carriages.
Anyway.
And considering that this city is de facto run by the Ogmanites and they follow a god of knowledge, if there's one city in Circulus that's going to have cars, it's this one.
Got a point there.
There was another city that had something similar to cars. They were carriages pulled by robotic horses until the accident happened. And dark beings from the cold spaces between the stars came in and wiped out most of the city. Long story.
Unfortunate.
Yes. That was before your time. Tom was there for that. A good time was had by other people.
But not us. Okay. My brain can't even think of what questions to ask when I'm trying to be helpful.
Oh, certainly.
I'm trying,
so,
guys.
I can tell you the rumors I've heard, but
yes,
keep in mind, they're rumors.
Of course.
Rumors are good.
Even if something is based in a grain of truth, you're going to hear 20 different versions, most of which have enough things changed for them to not actually be based in truth anymore.
Okay, but rumor has it
that the parts are being taken to build a giant warforge that's going to fight the Tarrasque.
We're making mechas?
Well, that's the rumor. Well, there's also a rumor that the kobolds are involved, and...
I'm sorry, me out of character is going, we're making a transformer? We're making a Transformer versus Godzilla movie?
Well, the kobolds already have megazords, so I don't really put a lot of stock in the rumor that the kobolds are behind it because they've already got the technology, apparently, but there's a rumor going around that they're trying to build, like, robo-kobolds, which...
Robolds.
Yeah, let's go with that one. There's another rumor that the parts are just teleporting back where they came from because they can only exist for so long from their home world. I don't get that one, but there's some beings that do need to return their home planes that exist. I think. I'm not a planar expert, but that's just what I've been told by a few wizards who may or may not have already been drunk when they got here. Let's just say that if you're doing a pub crawl from the Ogmanite Enclave and you've gotten to here, you're not sober by the time you get to here. We're far enough away.
Fair.
And actually, didn't I see you here 2 weeks ago?
Maybe.
Yeah, I think I did see you here 2 weeks ago.
Chad forgets.
I made a tab for you.
Weird.
Chadrick, pay your tab. Pay your doppelganger's tab. Then your doppelganger will owe you a favor.
You owe me for 3 kegs.
Okay.
And a shot of Gear Grinder Special, which costs more than the 3 kegs.
What did you do with a shot of Gear Grinder Special?
Most people die or
It was
explode.
delicious.
It was delicious.
Remember, guys, I am immune to disease.
That's
But
not a
immune
disease.
to poison. Poison is not a disease. Are we going to have this conversation again?
Oh, here we go.
I feel like it is. I did that purposely just so I couldn't get too drunk. I feel like that was the closest to an alcohol immunity I could give myself.
That decision is up there with joining a celibate order to quote-unquote get chicks.
I misunderstood when it said righteous.
And I'm here for every part of this. However, as I said when we came back from the break, well.
Consequences.
Okay, I pay my tab.
Consequences of my bad choices. There's several rumors that you've been given, many of which involve somebody taking the stolen body parts or entire bodies underground to be built up in the sewers.
I can't believe we're doing Transformers versus Godzilla.
It occurs to me that there is an avenue of inquiry that we have not considered.
What's up, Tex?
Which avenue? I've got a city map here.
Good idea.
That would be good, because we have not investigated the site where the body was found.
We should go do that.
Let's do it.
We should go investigate where the body was found so we can see whether, or maybe if we can figure out how they were ambushed, we can figure out where the ambushers went afterwards.
There may also be someone nearby who saw something. And also, we may be able to determine whether our victim, whose name the player has forgotten.
X47.
X47, thank you. I knew there was a 7 in there. We may be able to determine whether X47 was dismantled on site or was dumped there after being brought there from somewhere else.
Smash cut to a back alley. You're all standing in the alley. It is just wide enough for you to stand mostly comfortably. For Tex, it's a little bit uncomfortable, but Tex is 7 feet tall.
And possibly has a tabaxi on her shoulder.
Possibly. There's the entrance to the alley, which is on one side. The other 3 sides are brick walls that go up quite high with no windows at all. The alleyway is strewn with trash and filth and grime, except for one spot that looks a bit cleaner, where apparently that's where the body was found. And there is also what appears to be a manhole cover a few feet away.
So, in the alley?
In the alley.
Not doing
I
great
think
at
we
work
should-
today.
It seems to me that most people would not be inclined to carry the body of a Warforged up from the sewers.
That makes
Right.
sense. We're heavy.
So, if the part was taken to the sewers, it is likely that the body, that the ambush happened here or close by, rather than the body being dumped.
X47 seems like a nice person. Someone might have yelled, "Help, help," and gotten them to come over.
Also, X47 wouldn't have fit. A comes over and just taps the manhole cover. This isn't a manhole cover. It's a cobalt hole cover.
Oh.
Yeah, I'd fit through here, but, Tex, you would not. Hagen might have some trouble, because, you're about my height, but you are, bulky.
That's a nice way to put it.
Well, you already established
I
your
could
ripped.
probably fit.
Well, yeah, but cats are liquid.
Hobby might be able to.
The problem
Right.
is,
Hey, do you happen to know where this leads?
from the smell, probably a sewer. I don't want to go there.
Understandably.
There's always a sewer quest. Why is there always a sewer quest?
Very good question.
GMs are cruel, and
Curse
they
you,
know.
giant metal hand in the sky.
Mm-hmm.
With your purple laser pointer?
Very well.
And the thundering dice.
Let us find an access through which we can all fit.
Okay, but Kobolds have been in charge of like maintenance for a while now, and they're kind of protective of that. Like they won't even let me be part of it. So might be kind of hard unless you can make Kobold holes be larger.
It's possible, I suppose.
Well, where does the sewage all drain out?
Oh, well,
because it's a big city.
It's a big city, but it's fairly new, so it's a very modern sewage system. It all pumps out safely and hygienically right into the bay.
Lovely.
Which probably means that in the Bay Area would have the biggest holes that exude sewage.
Also, the biggest fish that you don't want to eat.
Good to know, I suppose.
So if Tex goes in there, then that would probably be the only entry. Maybe we could bribe some of the kobolds to tell us what might be going on. Maybe they'd know if there were like literal underground combat rings or something.
Well, there's plenty that do cleanup in Flag headquarters. I'll just have to not be around for that part.
Do we have a map of the disappearances, of the deaths and the disappearances, and a correlation with the kobold holes nearby? Or are they just nearby enough that, of course, they're always nearby?
To speed things along, I'm going to say that while the sewage access points are not on your map, because you weren't given a map that's that detailed, the map you were given is only slightly more detailed than the map that we're using in Owlbear Rodeo right now. Because it's got the entire town in it. They can't draw that small.
Right. Right.
Hold on, we're just going to unfold it. You have like a boat sail. Okay, just a little bit more.
I had a book like that once, a map book, yeah, just about.
Also, you'd be glad that I don't handle encumbrance rules in this game, because that map would be too heavy.
I'm very grateful.
Magical. Yes.
I'm just used to being able to have Cavill get the map on, and then you just sort of, pinch out and expand it until you get all the little details.
Only Cavill's Tablet of Shadows, E-Tablet of Shadows, doesn't have detailed maps for an area this ancient. Because you're
exactly the problem.
In the future.
It's a real problem.
Yes.
I have a suggestion. I suggest that we return to Flag headquarters for now, not only to consult a finer detailed map, but also so that anyone who does not wish to descend into the sewers wearing what they are now can change their clothing.
I think at the supply store you can get waders.
Probably a wise idea.
Back,
also full hazmat suits.
On the way back, I do have one suggestion. Should we perhaps let Tex, quote, go alone, unquote, while Rogues... I suppose I could pretend to be her, first stole or something.
Are we saying to use one of our Warforged as bait?
We are not your Warforged. We are ourselves.
Correct.
No, I meant your as in, in our group, our friend.
I had considered that option myself.
Usually I'm the bait, so this is a change.
If Hagen or Hobby, or perhaps both, would be willing to shadow me from the rooftops, we might gain some information that way as well.
I'll be the tuxedo mask in this situation.
If Tex...
But
only
didn't
if
do anything.
Tex is willing.
That's the point.
But only if Tex is all right with this. Also...
I am anticipating being attacked.
And that's where I can help out, watching your back.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good. And I can learn how to, be sneaky.
That sounds like a good idea.
Reminder that Tex literally cannot be surprised.
That is useful.
That
is very, very useful.
Before we do this, I would actually like to be helpful. I know. I'm going to let Tex know that I'm going to cast Sanctuary on them right before they get attacked.
We can definitely cast Sanctuary on them before she heads out by herself. but you can't predict if she's going to get attacked or not. But I'm in favor of this plan because it's a plan, and I'm here for this content.
It's a plan.
By the
We
way,
actually thing.
I was getting to this point, and then we moved ahead because plot happened, despite your best efforts. But the few spots you've had time to check each had a sewage access point nearby.
Are sewage access points so common that this is unremarkable? Like if we stick our noses down other alleys on the way between the points we checked, were there any access points?
The access points seem to be placed in alleyways more often than they are on main streets. Apparently, putting them on the main streets wrecked the aesthetics.
Funny that.
Also, if they had to do any long-term maintenance work, then they had to block the flow of traffic.
But there is a strong correlation.
Well, the bodies were all found mostly in alleys. So there is a correlation. It might be a causation. It might be
Alley-oop.
an affectation.
Alley-oop.
Anyway, we're going to let Tex play decoy if she desires.
I cast Sanctuary
All right. And we'll find out how that goes
next
next time.
Yep.
Same bad time, same bad channel. Wait, no.
Look at me actually doing
Same
something
punk
useful.
time, same
I
punk
cast
channel.
a spell. Guys, I cast a useful spell.
Now the question is, will we
Yes.
all remember you cast a spell 2 weeks from now when we continue this?
Let me make a note of that somewhere.
Yeah, might need to write
Yes.
that down. So thank you everyone for listening. Thank you everyone for playing. Tonight I was joined by a bunch of awesome people, including Beth, Ellie, Jen, Milo, and Tom. Who's got something they want to plug?
Eo's mom writes books. Elizabeth-McCoy.com, or ask your library to look for ebooks by Elizabeth McCoy for ebooks that libraries can get out of their Overdrive catalog. They ought to be kind of really inexpensive, like, pocket change for libraries, because I love libraries.
And speaking of somebody else who sells books,
I don't really sell books anymore, but I have a website. Huh? Oh, sorry. I'm just spacing out here.
Usually you go after that. Yes.
I do usually. This is true.
But
Yes.
Tom
so
hasn't
I
played
figured,
with us for a while. So.
And people have made little puns about the Book of Jen website,
yeah.
so I just thought that must have been where you were going.
Okay, well, go ahead, Jen.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Okay. So my website is Book of Jen at bookofjen.net. It's got a lot of Diablo stuff on it, some book reviews and other stuff. Whenever I have time and energy to put things there. I'm also the host of the Shattered Soulstone podcast, which is focusing primarily on the Diablo series of games and all of the shenanigans happening at Activision Blizzard King. And new episodes come out every Saturday at shatteredsoulstone.com and on Twitter and Facebook.
And I think you also talked about EA in today's episode that came out.
I did today, yes. Yeah. Yeah.
And speaking of books and online content,
Hey, yeah, I have lots of stuff going on lately. I have a children's book. My second children's book supposed to be coming out sometime this year, called The Secret of Moo Moo Hill. I have a couple games I'm running, Prowlers and Paragons. You can find them on my YouTube channel. I'm going to be on Heroes and Hooligans, starting a new game called Fate of Umdar. I'm going to be playing in that. I'm going to be on an episode of Vancouver by Night tomorrow, Monday night we're recording, and lots of other stuff. So if you want to find out more, just follow me on Twitter at Bolthra. That's BOLTHRA.
and what's the name of that YouTube channel?
That YouTube channel is Restless Barbarian Gaming.
There you go. Anyone else?
I have a social media called elek.xyz. That's ELEKK.xyz. It's a bunch of people who talk about games.
And that's also where I post all the out of context quotes when I'm editing
Right.
this.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes, they are hilarious, which is why I post them.
I gave you a bountiful amount this time.
Yes. Yes, you did. And eventually I will get to editing this recording. And speaking of recordings, we have a Patreon for this content that we make. Patreon.com/cogwheelgaming. Help us keep the lights on, along with other illustrious patrons, including Chris, Ellie, Eric, Mickey, Shen, Walter, and patron emeritus, Cindy. So until next time, this is Crash saying, Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Right.
Good night.
I'm concerned. So concerned.
No, I've learned to stop caring.